I've always been a teacher. I started teaching when I was still a student at university, and I've been teaching ever since.
Well, I'm very lucky being a teacher now that every summer I can travel to a different place in the world and explore it. And when I was doing archaeology, I was on a dig in the Negev desert where we found 4,500-year-old remains that were from a caravan stop.
Teaching is really a second career for me. I spent about 15 years as a management consultant working in the technology industry. I work for some of the largest companies in the world to some of the smallest.
My teaching career started very early when I was hardly 15, 16 years old. Just because my mother owned a school in India and I was often called upon to substitute in her school. I did my master's in chemistry. Chemicals fascinate me. They're all around you, in everything. They're in you.
I was not always a teacher. In fact, I actually had a number of different related professions. I lived in Japan for a lot of years. I taught English there. I spent many years as a translator. I was an operations manager, did a lot of work with computers. I had all these other, pretty good jobs before becoming a full-time music teacher. But none of them, I never really felt like I was really doing something that really changed people's lives.
I get to collaborate with amazing groups of people, both parents, our faculty, great kids, and so that's just, there's nothing that really can replace that.
The children, their spontaneity, their freshness, their enthusiasm, everything that they bring each day that is surprising and delightful.
I think in no profession can I find the satisfaction that I get in teaching when I see the spark light in a child's eye. When everything falls into place and the learning happens, that is the biggest reward I get out of teaching. It makes all those hours of hard work and planning worth it.
Also the opportunity to be creative and think on my toes.
Novato Charter School values not just children's minds, but their hearts.
It's a great community.
I especially like teaching here in that I get to build long-term relationships with my students over several years, so we really get to know each other.
It's all supportive, it's a team.
A wonderful educational model.
Everybody is so dedicated.
Every day in teaching is progress. In my prior job, there was progress, but also there was many periods of lack of progress and in many cases going backwards. And everything's changing so quickly. Often things become outdated. But in teaching, you know you're always investing in the future.
I invest in the future.
I invest in the future.
1, 2, 3.